Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Yeshua Nettles. We're running the April 15th AMA. I want to start off by saying we are having a competition going for those who ask questions during this AMA that elicit information for the listeners, either that are on the call or that are listening to the video later. We are giving away $25 per question, up to for 8 people. So definitely bring your best questions. We do want to send out that money to anyone who gets us going. Let's do this first. So I'm going to run down some of the updates because there's a lot of stuff that's been happening this week. A lot of good development that we've been seeing. So let's go ahead and I'll run down the list real quick, and then after that we'll open up to questions. All right. So first, of course, we got BSC scan updated. That happened about Thursday. We hope that that's going to open the doorway for our CMC listing. Once CMC is live, we also will do CoinGecko shortly thereafter. They should actually be out at the same time. And then from there, we will be able to start doing some high-level marketing announcements or press releases. We're aiming to put it in Bloomberg, NASDAQ, and a few others at that level, but we need that CMC listing first. Additionally, if you've been on Twitter or any of our social media platforms over the last day or so, we just got listed on Y5 Exchange. That went live yesterday. So we're really excited about that. That's a really good partnership, and it's going to draw in a little bit more attention. We also think that project has a lot of potential. So we think that that's really good for Shieldcoin to kind of get out there, have been verified by them, and be live with a lot of other big name projects. So that's really good for us as well. We've had our first claims come through this week. I've been through 4 in the last day or so. They are what I'm understanding or I'm seeing now is a lot of people still aren't quite clear what is covered with cryptossurance and what will be covered with the NFTs. So definitely, you have questions about that, reach out to us, send me DMs, message me on Discord, Telegram, wherever the case is, even or the mods themselves. Anybody can give you this answer about what's covered and what's not covered, and because we want the community to understand what their protection is and when that protection kicks in. Based on the claims, I'm seeing that there may still be some confusion about that. And I definitely want to make sure we have the right information out and everyone knows what's going on. We also have, again, the NFT competition going on. I've been posting some videos of the cameos. We have one more cameo that we're waiting for to come through. When that one comes through, we'll publish it. This should be our first celebrity. So we're definitely looking forward to that as well. But definitely, if you have videos that you're making, artwork that you want to post, anything that gets the word out about Shieldcoin specifically, cryptossurance, or the NFT wallet protection that's coming out, definitely post it. Send us tweet it out, hashtag cryptossurance, and then send us a DM of the link for the tweet. That way, we can track it as a part of the actual competition. We have a few submissions already. We expect a few more coming in the next week. But then there's about another week that we think most of the push is going to come. So definitely don't miss out. Put your best foot forward. This content is definitely helping us to get the word out. And I've seen a lot of activity over the last day or so. So I'm really glad at what I'm seeing. We're seeing the charts start to tick up a little bit. But I think everything's still pretty much waiting on that CMC listing, which we expect that the target group that we're aiming for, they're going to wait for that CMC listing, and then we're going to see our price pop right after that. Another update, we just started going, we just partnered with ShillX. So ShillX is a company that's going to allow us to use their platform to get people to promote our project, influencers to promote our project, who will then receive a commission off of the first sale. That won't affect our holders at all. The 7% commission that goes to your BSD reward will still be in effect. The only thing that'll be affected is 2% of the total 9 will be taken out. And instead of going into the team wallet or the vault initially, it'll go into commissions for that first sale. All of the sales will be normal sales, so there won't be any issues for beyond that. What it allows us to do is kind of expand our promoting capabilities far beyond what we currently can do right now. We think it's a great product. We think the team is great. There's also discussion with that team of working on some other items, including their NFT, which honestly, it's great. It's excellent what they're doing. It's very genius. We definitely want to be a part of it, and this early partnership was actually going to help us kind of work alongside them, moving down the road. Uh, so that's something interesting. We can't go into detail because they haven't really announced too much about how they're running their NFT project. We'll let them make the announcement, and then we can kind of fill in the details once that happens. But you should hear more about that here in the coming weeks. Uh, and the final one that we have as an update is right after this call. I won't be able to stay on late because I actually have a phone call with SafeMoon. We're looking to discuss their swap. They reached out to me earlier, and we're going to see what kind of partnership we can actually come up with Shieldcoin and SafeMoon. So that'll be an interesting call. Again, I'm not making any promises, but definitely keep an eye out for any updates that come out of that call or any subsequent calls. Let's go ahead and open up the floor. Anyone have questions? We can start there. All right, I got a hand up. Go ahead, Zeklis.
Yeah, hi, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Unfortunately, I think I was part of that rug pull with Palm Protocol today. So just to confirm, that's not covered because it's not any of the items that you've vetted or it's not on your risk assessment list, correct?
That is correct. Once the NFT is live, a product like that would be covered up to that $1,000 blanket insurance. But right now, that does not fall into crypto insurance.
Got it. That's what I figured. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, sorry about that as well. We put out a post again. We're just tired of seeing this, honestly. I was Todd Hart put out a couple comments about it as well. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be the last one with the rebase tokens. I think some of them can actually do a good job and kind of deliver on what they're promising, but there's gonna be a lot of them that's not gonna make that not gonna meet those promises. So,
Yeah, it's just really weird how it all went down. You know, they listed their pre-sale for 18 days, which was really strange, and then
mm,
supposedly on the initial launch something happened and then they gave everybody their tokens back or their BNB back and then I was like feeling a little more comfortable with it since they did refund everybody while they deployed a new contract and then they got me. So
yeah.
was
When did they actually launch? When was the actual launch?
this morning at like 5 a.m. is when they were
So
supposed to launch.
to shed a little bit of light on what happened with Palm Protocol, I can't
Mm-hmm.
tell you like who the bad actors were, but what happened, what factually went down was in theory they had their own custom contract that they had written, or at least that's what they had said.
Mm-hmm.
By trying to finalize on Pink Sale, they could not finalize, so they had to refund everybody's stuff. But they're now stuck in a situation where they want to launch anyways. So they copy pasted another rebase tokens contract. By doing so, I don't know if they just opened themselves up for an existing known exploit, which is more than likely what did happen,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody like immediately conducted a flash loan exploit on the contract and drained the liquidity. Whether or not, like, it was an inside job or not, who's to know? This is DeFi, but that's factually what happened. They had a
Okay.
flash loan exploit taken advantage of and drained liquidity.
Wow.
Yeah. So what that sounds like is it could have been a rug pull, but it also could have been a bad actor taking advantage of a loophole or like a vulnerability
Yeah,
built into the contract.
yeah.
Okay.
It absolutely could have been a bad actor who like is specifically running bots to look for deployments of that exact contract because like
Mm,
you can flag exact contracts on BSC scan. So
right.
you can run a simple program that tells you anytime this one type of contract is deployed. And if it is deployed, then you just run a secondary bot to run that exploit if you know of that exploit. I don't know that for sure that's what happened. And again, it's a real easy excuse for anybody who's wanting to do something like that to be like, "Oh, this happened. Sorry, guys." So
Right.
I don't know that team. I don't know anything about that project. Like a lot of you, first time I had actually heard of it was Todd Hart promoting it on his channel yesterday, I guess, and
Mm,
then I checked
Yeah,
it out myself just
yeah,
because I don't
I
know, because he was
investigated.
talking about it.
right.
So I looked at it, and I did not participate in the pre-sale just because I was really busy. And then I got a message this morning somebody asking me to look through the transaction logs and figure out what happened.
Mm. Yeah, I checked out their website earlier or right after I heard about it, and there's nothing really on the website. There's no team information really. It's pretty bare in that way. So I don't think the team is doxed or I couldn't find anything on it. I had to go check out Todd's video originally about the project, but it's just one of those things. It's like there's not a lot of information out there. If anyone got in on it early and it had done well, they'd probably made a lot of money. This just doesn't seem like one of those cases.
Oh, and to be clear, Todd wasn't like that wasn't Todd didn't make a video specifically about them. He had just mentioned them in another video. And
Okay.
when he told people to like, hey, I'm buying into it, he also did do like the right thing and say, only put in what you're willing to lose. I don't know much about this project. This is a risky play. He said all
Okay.
that.
Okay.
It's not a stab at Todd in any way, but he was the factually how I heard about the project.
Hmm. Yeah, no, Todd is pretty straightforward, especially when there's projects like that he can't verify. I have yeah, no complaints against him. Yeah, so this one is not covered by crypto insurance, just to reiterate. But when the NFT is launched on the 30th, projects like this would actually be protected for anyone already holding the NFT at the time of the loss. And that's why we created it. It does allow you more flexibility, more leeway to invest in riskier projects that could do well, but also could go south really fast. And that's why we created it. So just keep an eye out for that and definitely pick up one or more. So when
Yeah,
you're making
sure.
these plays, you have that coverage in place.
Yep. Yeah, we'll do.
And when you finish off this phone call, you can definitely send me a DM with your wallet address, and we will send you one of the payments.
Really?
Mhm.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good question. It's actually something very relevant for today, so I appreciate that. Buckeye Nation, do you have a question today?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. This kind of actually goes off of what he just asked. It was in Discord the other day. I believe you answered the guy. He asked about the NFT, and then he said you told him if he purchased another $1,000, then he could get $20,000 if
Right.
he had the NFT. But the NFT was only 1,000. Now, would that 20,000 cover the whole wallet still, or just the coins covered when you buy the shield for the crypto insurance, or is the NFT maxed out 1,000 and you can stack to three?
Okay, good question. So the NFT is still maxed out at 3,000 total if you have three in the wallet. That 20,000 would be crypto insurance, so it would cover anything that's on the currency or anything that I'll be adding in the next week or so, or any of those projects. And
So it
again,
does
yeah,
hold.
yeah, I'll caveat that by saying this too. Only like for the purposes of your crypto insurance purchase, only buy what you need. For the purposes of investing in Shield Coin, okay, also invest what you think is valuable for your portfolio. We definitely encourage you to hold more because of a lot of the stuff we have working on in the background. But we're not. That's not the point of the crypto insurance side. That the value in crypto insurance is protecting your actual investments, particularly in the product that we've already listed. Um, for the NFTs, again, you can only have 3 per wallet, but you can have as many wallets as you want. So people can factor that in too as how they're holding their tokens. Yeah. But yeah, so the NFT, no matter how many times you stack it, the maximum it'll give you per wallet is $3,000 of coverage. And the reason we designed it this way is because we don't want the NFTs to be used as a way to circumvent crypto assurance writ large. Crypto assurance is our utility. The NFT is an additional protection that we're offering to all of our holders until we can get to the other 180,000 projects plus that are on the market. That's how we designed that.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah. And definitely DM me after this too. You'll be one of those payments from the phone call. All right. Any other
Appreciate it.
questions? No worries. Hey,
Do
Medicap,
I qualify for payments?
No, you don't. How's your day going though? I know we haven't been able to touch bases really today because I've been trying to get all this stuff done.
It's been going good, man. I'm walking over to. I live in a small town, so I walk everywhere I go, and I'm walking over to pick up some pizza for the kids.
Hey, there it is. Yeah. I know I posted about the farming I did earlier, and someone commented that we have security wires on our fence. Yes, I do. This is I live on my house is on the compound in Kenya, and that's a part of the security involved in this where we live. I can't control that. um, yeah, I thought it was a funny comment actually. Any other questions related to crypto insurance or just anything in general? Feel free, raise your hand. I'll bring you up. All right. While we're waiting for other questions to pop up, the Wi-Fi exchange, we actually got listed on that much faster than I thought it was going to take. The reason I thought it was a good idea, like I said earlier, is I think this project has a lot of potential. They actually went through the vetting process more similar to what we would expect from a centralized exchange. The verification requirements behind it, and a lot of that is for preparing themselves to go to basically reach that level. I think right now there's not a lot of volume pretty much anywhere. Honestly, the entire market seems to be in a lull period, but what they're doing and what their ability to have an exchange that has the capabilities to do the reflections that a lot of the other projects are already talking about is very valuable to us because we wanted people to be able to buy our token, but we want them to still be able to maintain the reflections and actually still benefit from the coverage that we're offering, and our holders to benefit from that as well. So the Wi-Fi exchange is a good step in that direction. And I think it's a pretty good team in that way. I think they're easy to work with. Yeah, and I know I'm gonna have a phone call with them probably on Monday to talk about a little bit more promos that they can do to kind of hype up the listing, make it more available to the people in their community. So we'll see, but with how that works out and how that can help us as well. Yeah.
I'd also take a moment to comment on the whole Chill X thing.
Yep.
People confuse it a little bit, but Chill X is not in itself a token project at all. They are literally just a crypto affiliate project. That's all they do. Even this NFT line that Yusha was referencing, it's actually like a multi-project NFT line. And getting Shield's involvement in it will be just joining forces with a lot of other heavyweights in the space. I can't say much more than that, but it is exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, we had another conversation with them earlier. They are very, very bullish on this project because they see the value, they see what we're doing. Again, insurance isn't sexy, but the way we're doing it, we're we're on the cutting edge of something that a lot of people they don't realize how valuable this is. And to give you an example of what we talked about earlier, again, everyone knows that I work as an official government official right now. I'm in Kenya. There are a lot of governments around the world right now looking to roll out their centralized or central bank issued currencies based on whatever the currency of that country is. What no one's talking about right now yet is that for starters, FDIC is only in the United States, but worldwide, anytime any of these cryptocurrencies become the major source of money moving back and forth, there's going to be a need to protect investors' wallets that doesn't exist in any infrastructure right now. Fieldcoin is already preparing ourselves to become that. We're positioning ourselves so that we can become that protection on those crypto wallets in any country, particularly for central banks issued currencies. And that potential allows us to it'll allow us to expand very rapidly in a way of having protection on various wallet holders around the world. And that'll also allow us to plug into local law enforcement in different countries to further strengthen our ability to provide protection and verify that something actually did occur, because we'll have various points of contacts around the world that we can then ping off of, whether it's reports of theft reports that are filed with the police, or data that they may already have for us to run our data against. So that's, again, it's in the works. It's something we're already talking about. We're definitely going to be on the front edge because we'll be the only ones already set up to take advantage of that situation once it goes in effect. I have a question that I'm going to bring up. As soon as you're live, you can feel free to talk.
Hi,
What's
now,
going
how are
on?
you doing?
What's that? What's going on?
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right.
I have a quick question about your insurance coverage, actually, because if I understood is that you're covering against like scam or rug pull. But I
Yeah.
have a question about I remember what happened with Seifu and the Certic removal, what happened with the price and everything. And I wonder if your insurance coverage will protect against this kind of mistake or things happening outside a scam or rug pull.
So just back it up a little bit. I know Certic pulled Safu off of their platform. They made an announcement about it. Our crypto insurance is not based on Certic. Certic is looking at contract audits, or the contract specifically. It doesn't really go far beyond that. Sometimes they may factor in other components, but our crypto insurance is not based on a Certic audit or any audits exclusively. We can take that into consideration, but that's not what we're looking at. What we're looking at is a business analysis of the project itself and how it basically puts clients at risk. So if it is a project and whatever their main utility is live, we look at that, the fact that it is live, but we also look at what it is that they're providing. And different projects can become risky or less risky based on what they're doing. And I give the perfect example is swaps. Some projects, that's their only utility. There's so many swaps out there. Not many are going to surpass PooCoin or PancakeSwap. They're risky until they can prove why their specific swap is unique.
I just want to cut down to the nitty gritty part of his question. So, in a situation where a project was on the coin risk rating, the CRR, so the crypto assurance did have a level of coverage for them, and that project did something something happened within that project where it did impact the chart and it did impact the liquidity level, but that liquidity level was still sufficient that project was still operating in perpetuity. They're still going to continue to grow and function in the situation like you're referencing with Seifu. Your value isn't gone. You can still continue to hold. You couldn't necessarily report that as a loss because they're still operating. The liquidity is still there. It took a hit through a function of a part of the project.
Correct. That's not the same as a rug pull, essentially. Yeah.
Right.
I guess this.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I give an answer that seems like it's not directly related, it's because I'm trying to give more context to what I'm explaining, because I know that if I give the wrong answer or I don't give enough detail when I'm answering these questions, particularly on a recorded call like this, someone's going to misinterpret what I'm saying, and it's going to get a little bit more complicated to kind of hash it back out. So I try to be a little bit more thorough when I answer the questions. Metacap is definitely going to jump in there and answer your question directly if I'm not hitting that point. But definitely always ask me to re-clarify if necessary.
Thanks, Nara. Thanks, Nara. And I just want to say that I think your project is very solid, and I think we all can see that it's going in the right direction, and very confident about where the project's going. So thank you about that.
No worries. Yeah, we've been having the discussions, and I talked to Safe Shilex as well earlier. Our project is actually doing very well. A lot of people are looking at our actual market cap, and I get it, because that's what we've been taught to do in the space. But in addition to looking at market cap, definitely look at liquidity. Right now, our liquidity is somewhere around 23 to 24%. That's 5 to 6 times higher than most projects writ large. So keep that in mind. There's a reason why buys and sells are not hitting the charts in the same manner, is why we're not crossing the $1 million threshold yet. While that may be sexy on paper, it looks nice, that's paper money. We do see its value, but at the same time, what we're looking to do is make sure that if you hold X amount of tokens and it says it's worth X amount in your wallet, you have a higher probability of being able to cash that out and take it with you, not just it drops as soon as you try to make a sale. And with low liquidity, that actually does happen a lot. You're not necessarily going to get what you think you're going to get out of that sale. And we're actually preparing ourselves to have a higher liquidity because of what we're doing. When we hit our $5 million combination market cap and capitalization, we need to have a higher liquidity, because there are certain standards that we know this project is going to have to meet because of the nature of our business, because we're providing insurance. All right. Any additional questions? Any comments? Feel free to raise your hand. I can definitely bring you up. I see Gabe's in the audience. That was actually a good question the other day, and I think that's what we just covered too. Yeah, what Gabe sent out about the crypto insurance. I know it's a question people have been asking. So another question that I've been receiving a lot is, when the NFT launches, will other blockchains, Polygon, Ethereum, still be covered? The answer is yes. Just because you hold the NFT and it's on the blockchain doesn't mean that $1,000 coverage doesn't apply to other blockchains, because you can have all of them active in the same wallet. Just depends on what you switch between. So definitely consider that when you're investing and you're holding. Your $1,000 coverage does apply to all blockchains, not just Binance Smart Chain.
That was literally going to be my question. So thank you for answering it.
No worries. Yeah. So the reason we were built on the Binance Smart Chain is really because of the lower gas fees. It's much easier to transmit the payments. It's easier to just move around tokens, whatever the case may be. But we're definitely not limited to it. This is just where we're starting right now. It just makes it easier, transaction-wise.
Okay. Quick question.
Go ahead.
All right. So
Gabe, can you hear me? Give him a second to come back online. I think his call dropped. All right. Let me see. Bring him back up. Go ahead, Gabe.
Okay. So sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay. So quick question. If you're going to be interacting with CBDCs and trying to be like the FDIC of the crypto space between all of these interconnected chains. Does that create a future possibility of integrating with ISO 20022?
Yes. Short answer.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I want to know.
Yeah, we'll definitely be trying to push the boundaries on. There's two reasons for that. First, we definitely want to be we want to be meeting all these standards, but the other reason is as we continue to grow and evolve, the more requirements that we are covering as a threshold for doing basic business, it reduces the ability for competition to come in the space and compete with us. That gives us the ability to get a first mover advantage and hold it for much longer while we're building out how the space should operate, particularly on the insurance side. We're not going to stop with crypto insurance specifically. We do intend to go further. We'll be rolling out to some degree, and I don't know when this is going to happen because we're also looking at that specific industry, but we're looking to insure NFTs as well. And the reason being is NFTs are evolving already. What we've been talking to with some of the people, some of the other projects, NFTs are not just going to remain pictures on a blockchain. They're going to end up being the underlying asset that people are going to want to have insured for a variety of reasons. And because of that, we're going to look to roll out various forms of protection on NFTs as well, depending on their industry, depending on what they're offering. So this is literally just the beginning. There's a lot of stuff in the works, but a lot of it has to come into play only when the industry has itself reached a certain level. So
ISO, that 20022 protocol, it goes live in November, right? So
yes, yep.
Does that indicate you're going to be integrated before November?
That doesn't indicate anything yet for us. We have to still build our project out in its base nature, how it is now. We'll meet those requirements as there's a need. We don't want to overspend in one direction when there's no real value to the project writ large.
Yeah, that's a pretty big move. All right, cool, man.
Yeah, no worries. Any other questions, comments? There's a lot going on in the background. Space Cat, you have anything?
Yeah. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, I had to wait till I parked. I was driving, so I couldn't answer any questions till now. I had a couple. You answered the one about insuring any NFTs that you have, but there's a lot of people that'll be in the same boat as me. I'm pretty sure that I've never bought an NFT before. No one else. A lot of people probably haven't. What's the process? Can you explain how you would get once it's launched? How you would go about buying it, the NFT? Because yours will obviously be the first NFT I'll buy.
Yeah. Okay. That's a great question. So what we've already done, we've already prepared everything. It's already ready to go. We'll make the link live to the minting site. You'll be able to go to our main website and go directly over and just go ahead and mint it. It's the same thing. It almost functions exactly like buying anything else on the blockchain. You'll hit the button to connect your wallet. You'll approve the price and it'll go through. Once that happens, all you do is go into your wallet. So if you're in Trust Wallet, you basically just add the specific contract address for that token or for that NFT in your wallet, and then basically import it. And then when you go to the NFT site, it'll appear there. We'll have a how-to guide as well that you can use to actually do the process. It's pretty straightforward. But to add on to that, we're also making the purchase of the NFT available with a credit card. And we'll create that link. It'll be live at the time of launch as well. On the main website, it'll say, we're calling it Simplify. And basically, you can go there, you can purchase it. You send us we'll create another form that'll allow you to put your wallet information and the receipt, and we'll airdrop it to your wallet directly. Same thing, you'll still have to import that contract just like you would any other token, and then it will appear there.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Just it's something that's totally different. It's alien to me. So, but it sounds like it's quite simple, and it's just pretty well the same as as getting a token or a coin. So great.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. We'll also have to look into MetaMask. I know there are more videos on the MetaMask side, but it's pretty easy if you use Trust Wallet or MetaMask.
Yeah.
I don't think it does. It doesn't show up in SafeMoon if you have that wallet though.
Yeah.
Just
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
no worries.
I have one more question.
Go ahead.
What about CBDCs that are not necessarily, and I'm not sure if there are some that are not, but what about CBDCs that are not plugged into ISO 20022? Are you going to be trying to work with them too?
Yeah. So let me break that down. Just because something is not functioning on that doesn't mean our coverage wouldn't still protect it. As long as the NFT is held in that wallet and a claim is made, because we just verify. We verify, does the wallet that's making the claim have our NFT or have the coverage required to receive a payment? If the answer is yes, we just verify that the loss happened while it was active, the insurance was active, and then we make the claim. It doesn't matter what blockchain it's on. It doesn't matter. And nothing else factors into that. That wallet will still receive that payment. It'll just be in Binance USD. So when they want to verify that they received their payment, they have to have that token activated in their wallet.
Right, but what I mean though is like in the FDIC kind of way of doing things. So like if it's a CBDC, you're talking about, I'm assuming you're talking about interactions between states, right? Like governmental transactions.
No, because what we're doing is we're protecting the individual. It doesn't matter what we'll just roll out and say, if there is a central issued bank cryptocurrency, we're protecting it. It doesn't matter what country you're in or what its value is. It's still up to $1,000 or $3,000 depending on the wallet. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
I see what you're.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not doing between governmental transaction insurance.
Correct.
You're just doing individuals with governmental CBDCs.
Correct.
I got it. Okay,
Yeah.
got
So
it.
what that allows us to do is say those governments no longer have to worry about saying we need to find a way to protect our general citizens. Now they just give the stamp of approval to Shieldcoin, and it just becomes a standard that everyone says, okay, make sure I have XYZ in my wallet. That government approval in those locations is valuable to us. But even if the government doesn't outright give us a stamp of approval, those holders can still use Shieldcoin NFTs to protect their wallet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But I got another hand up. I'm bringing you up. Go ahead. Gui,
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi. So I have a second question actually.
Mm.
I remember you in a previous AMA, I suppose you mentioned about the first bunch of NFT would be some sort of gold NFT with
Correct.
some special feature. Can you tell us a bit more today? Or is it a bit too early to talk about it?
No, we can talk about it. So the gold feature, it's pretty straightforward. It's the gold logo. So usually our logo is silver. For the first batch of NFTs that we minted, we minted them with the gold shield instead. And really, what that is it's 10,000. It seems like a lot now, but it's basically the only 10,000 that'll ever have the gold logo. Whether we hit 1 million holders down the road, 2 million or more, this is the only NFT that's going to have the gold logo. We will create other competitions that will only be for those elite holders or events that'll only be for those holders. And really, it'll be because we were here to adopt it early enough. They were here, they saw the product, they saw its value, and they got in early. There's really no other criteria for it other than buying it in while we release it. And to give you a little bit more detail on that, what we're talking about with Shillex, we may not actually continue to mint NFTs exclusively ourselves. We may partner with different NFT creators in various ways and allow their NFTs to have Shieldcoin protection. So that'll make these NFTs even more rare over time.
Good. Thank you for answering.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Any other questions? Just remember, if you ask a question during this AMA, definitely message me directly, either on Discord or Telegram. I will send, and with your wallet address, and I'll send that out as well.
Cool. Thank you, man.
Yep, we only got 2 more spaces for that giveaway, so pretty good. Oh, someone else got a hand up. I'm gonna bring you up again. Go ahead. I can't hear you.
I think he's experiencing what I experienced. You gotta hit the red button, exit, and then come back in the room, and then raise your hand again.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll give him a second to come back online. Trying to think of anything else I want to cover. Yeah, oh, here he is. All right, you're back up.
Maybe you should try it again, dude.
Let me see if you can message the AMA questions. President.
There's a question in the general chat also.
Okay. Let me check it out real quick. See if I can read it. Hold on. Let me bring him up.
Hello, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I don't know what was going on. Sorry if this has been asked before, but will any form of staking be implemented anytime soon?
Yes, we're considering it. Chris is definitely working on that end. I don't see staking as a true utility. I think it's valuable. I think it has value because it helps stabilize the price. But because we put so much liquidity into our main project, staking may not necessarily be as valuable for this specific project. At least not in the way it is for most projects that have low liquidity overall. But we are still considering it, and it may have a different value. It may not be for liquidity purposes. It may be actually for something else. So we're still considering it and seeing what we can do.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. And then I know we brought up another Hargalard.
Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good. I had a question. For a site like Apollo, where they're offering their 25% to 100% coverage if you hold an NFT. So if I hold one of theirs and get 25% coverage, and I hold your NFT and something gets rug pulled, would it be like their 25% gets covered first, and then you guys would cover anything additional on top of that up to that $1,000 kind of limit?
Yes. So what we're doing with anyone who's already offering their own insurance, we're going to function more like umbrella insurance versus direct insurance. And the reason being is because they've already made that promise to their holders, we'll pick up the slack wherever it goes off. So you said, let's say you were investing in a low risk project that would get 100% coverage from us directly, but they said we're going to pay 25%. We would only pay 75% to offset, to still give you to 100% of your loss, but they would then be responsible for that other 25. In the event that they didn't pay it, then we would then go forward and make the full payment. And again, we can verify that on the blockchain, so it's not, we don't have to worry about trusting anybody. We can look and see if it was actually paid or not.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
No worries. That's a good question, though. What's going on, Gabe? Gabe 2, excuse me.
Hey, Yeshua, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hey, sorry about that. Hey, I'm doing great, man. How are you guys doing?
All right, all right.
Yeah, thanks, man. I just wanted to ask. I'm trying to work up to the point where 100% of my wallet is covered by
Hmm.
Shield Coin, and so I'm adding, here and there. I keep adding to my bag, but I've kind of lost track of the math. Like, so what's your recommendation for how we can calculate, how much coverage we have specifically if we want to like make sure we have enough to cover our whole wallet?
Okay. It also depends first and foremost on whether or not the tokens you're holding are actually covered on our CRR.
Right.
And also how much of that will you be able to offset with the NFT? Because again, each wallet can hold up to 3,000. So you may not have to keep on rebuying $3,000 of base coverage because you have that blanket coverage at that level. Let's say you bought the three NFTs. I think the best way to do it though is really just to look at. Well, there's two ways to do it. You could initially use something like Coin Tracker. I use it all the time, and I use it for my taxes. You can look at your cost basis for any token you have, and you don't have to go through the blockchain directly because that it gets tedious.
Okay.
Especially if you had a lot of other purchases. To me, that's the best way to go about it because if you have that system activated, you can look at your cost basis and what your profits or losses are at any given time. And
Okay.
that's same information you're going to need to know your cost basis essentially. It'll tell you what you initially put in and whether you're up or down, and that up or down will tell you exactly to overall how much you actually have invested in the variety of projects you hold in that wallet.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, no worries. And there are other CoinTracker, just the one I use, but there are others as well. Um,
Okay. That's an app?
yeah. Well, it's a website too. If the way I
Okay.
found it was through Coinbase, but they're competitors.
Okay.
But for what I was doing, it was useful, so I just used it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I started, I'm trying to increase my bag here and there, and now I'm kind of losing track of, how much coverage do I actually have, and so I just wanted to make sure. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I think I see the question in the general chat. This was from T. He was asking, will we protect from every rug pull that someone gets into as long as they have the NFT? Or can people get insured of projects which are scanned by Shieldcoin? The NFT is for any project. Just make sure that that's clear. It's for any project, whether we reviewed it or not. If we have reviewed it, the insurance coverage will be only based on the CRR because the CRR supersedes the NFT. But if it's not been reviewed by the CRR, we haven't looked at it. It could be a new project or whatever the case may be. The NFT takes precedence, and the NFT will be blanket insurance, and it doesn't matter one way or another. As long as it's active, you're covered. The person followed up with a question: how many will be sold? Initially, NFTs there will be 10,000 available. That's more than enough for any one of our current holders to hold at least 3. After that, we may not even put out 10,000 at a time. So that number could vary, but that again is also going to be dictated by our relationships with different NFT makers and deals we come up with to have Shield Coin insurance on those NFTs as well. All right, I think that covers the questions from there. All right, sorry, I got another hand up. Come on up, Braxton.
Hey, boss, how you doing?
I'm all right.
So this is a question that's coming from the TG chat. I didn't realize the AMA was still going on, so just wanted to get an update on what your plans were for. And I believe currently Shieldcoin only covers Binance chain products. Is that correct?
No, it covers the wallet. But right now we've only reviewed Binance Chain projects. That being said, if community members have products that they already have purchased into and they want it reviewed, send us a direct message. We'll include that in the next update.
Perfect. That answers the question. Thank you.
No worries.
I have one other thing I was wanting to ask about.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm assuming everybody in here is pretty advanced, or they wouldn't have found this project. But the there's a lot of dust that hits wallets,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee if it's dusting you, it's probably a scam. So like, do you guys have a place where members can alert you to dust attacks so that maybe you can review that project and let the rest of the world know that, hey, this isn't a good one to be interacting with?
We haven't put anything out yet, but right now, it basically either the same one that we do the rest of our projects, because anyone can ask for any review. If you're in our community, you can say, "Hey, can you review this project?" If you put it in there, we'll look at it. We haven't broken it out because we're not getting that much. We're not getting that many requests. So right now, I'm just going through a list of hundreds of projects, and I'm just going through and doing the reviews. But if there's a project specific to the community that people are actually being affected by, or they notice in their wallets, they can just send it to us directly, and we can definitely update it, because that'll take precedence over just me going down the list. Because we want to make sure people are protected from things that are actually affecting them, not just things that could affect them.
Well, the reason I think this is important is because if you get dusted, as far as I understand, and you go and interact with that, you're kind of handing them the access to your wallet, which is not covered under the Shield Coin coverage, correct?
Right. Right now, yes. Because right now it has to be an active scam. Usually that's the drainage of liquidity by the contract owner. But when you're interacting, so let me put it this way: the NFT will protect that, but the general coverage wouldn't. And the reason being is because the NFT actually protects against theft.
Okay.
Yeah, the crypto assurance does not.
That's what I was curious about, because I could see the crypto assurance not covering that, because that's not a rug pull. It's just straight up,
Correct.
like stealing someone's car keys and then taking their car. So
Right. But it's also the individual is making their car key available by leaving it exposed.
Oh, right. It's
So
exposed it's being exposed, though, kind of like the way that you would be exposed to like a valet at a restaurant. You have a assumption that he's a legit dude, but then he just drives off with your car.
Exactly. Ferris Bueller, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's where the NFT varies a little bit too. It's more broad, and we made it broad because there are a lot of new people coming to the space. There are people that don't mess with it or interact with these dusting tokens, because they could actually make your wallet vulnerable to attack. If you've been in the space a while, you probably know that. If it's your first, second, third token, you probably don't. You think, I have $10,000 in there. Maybe I'll sell that one. And it's easy to get people that are new. And that's really, Shieldcoin is not just for new people, it's for anybody. But it does really help people that are new come into the space and stay in the space. For a lot of people, you get scammed early on, you're done. You don't want to do anything else in the space. And we're trying to kind of move past that so we can bring DeFi to the mainstream. Because DeFi isn't what the centralized side is, but it does have its value, and I think it's more valuable, honestly. But the only way to get there for people to be comfortable in it is to have some level of protection where you're not just going to lose all your money just because, it's DeFi.
And I propose the Dustbuster NFT.
Yeah, that would be actually, it's pretty good. So we got about 5 minutes left, or 6 minutes left. We don't need to run out the clock. If there are no more questions, we can stop it early. I do need to jump on this other phone call, so I need to get ready for that as well. Anything else that anyone wants to bring up? They're seeing scams that you're seeing, anything. Because we're trying to use our community as a source of information for that as well. It helps for you all to just throw into the DM something you're seeing. whether our mods do it a lot too, but the community, if you're seeing something that's repeated, or you're seeing it just in the space writ large, let us know. It allows us to remain aware of how things are changing. So yeah, okay. All right, then we are going to wrap it up early. Henry, do you have anything? Any of the mods? Do you have anything you want to throw in before we wrap up the call? I think Chris jumped off already.
No, I think I'm all set.
All right.
It
Then
was a good
we'll wrap.
answer.
Yeah, I think so too. And this will be posted on the YouTube channel for anyone who didn't get to join tonight. So we are good to go. All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up then. Thanks.